Hello and welcome to my first ever topic video. Yay! I just know this is going to go swellingly. Anyway, to the topic at hand. Group A, Mexico, starting off with one of the host nations, Mexico. This national team has a pure passion for the sport and their form recently covers with 0 losses in the last 7 games. As I'm recording this is nothing to be scoffed at and really presents a challenge. I could see them reaching past the round of 16, only time will tell. South Africa. After impressing fans across the globe with one-of-a-kind strike from Tshabalala in the 2010 World Cup, their recent form has been shaky with 1 win in the last 5 games. However, I still believe they can snatch points to avoid the group stage. Korea Republic. A team that is absolutely tearing it up when it comes to underrated national teams, with the likes of Heung-min Son, Lee Kang-in and Kim Min-jae, all top-tier names of a high work rate. I think they'll breeze past opposition, although don't take my word for it. Czechia. A team that may feel as though it's being brushed past when it comes to expectations at this World Cup. This makes me believe they'll go on to become the knight in shining armour with players like Schick, Souček and even Adam Holšek. Besides this, the World Cup expects the least expected. Well, Group B, Canada. Another one of the host nations for this World Cup. This will come as a huge advantage, so they'll be playing games on home soil, making for competition to be more concentrated in more physical areas of the game, like set pieces. Current form projects them to be a lot more defensive, with a massive amount of aggression coming from the attackers. Definitely look out for this team. Bosnia-Herzegovina. A national team with an absolute warrior of a football player being Edin Dzeko, at the age of 40 demonstrating his pure power and love for the game. Despite this, possibility of it being his last keeps an eye out to see if chances to get created around him. I wouldn't doubt it, I'm sure we know what he's capable of. Qatar. After debuting at the last World Cup campaign, they're going to want to take a new route to when it comes to how they approach this tournament. In my eyes, it may be a struggle for them and really have to rely on team strategy. However, we could see a player become a hero right in front of our very eyes. Switzerland, a team joked about for having a little to no conflict at all. Do not underestimate their status in this group, as I feel they could easily knock out any team in the group with a well-renowned underdog. When it comes to football matches, keep an eye out for Granit Xhaka and the intricate passes through the lines, because it might just be an assist, because you never know. Group C, Brazil. What can we say that we haven't said before? One of the most decorated football nations of all time. Football has never been more exciting for this team, and with the addition of Neymar having his final World Cup, this team could go on to make it to the quarterfinals, due to publicity alone and them being known for a fantastic football. The flair and excellence may just do that, making them one of the nations to watch. Hopefully we don't get any terrible injuries from the team prior to the World Cup. Morocco. A team that has more than climbed up the football ladder, going as far as to touch the foot of the big names. Okay, that was odd. Anyway, a team with a magnitude is bound for a great success story, with players like Hakimi recently putting on an almost 10 out of 10 performance at the Champions League final. Although will it be enough to top the group, we will have to wait and see. Haiti. The return of the World Cup could see them return to prove a point in why they have qualified and aren't here to be forgotten. On the other hand, they'll struggle to find a good footing with a group like this. Wait, I said footing again. This isn't a foot thing, is it? Besides the point, I look forward to seeing how Haiti create their game plan. Scotland. A wee nation, some may say. I do apologise to every Scottish person watching. This team has created some staple ballers who are here to stay, with the likes of John McGinn, Ryan Christie, and a man who is literally currency, Scott McTominay. After his out-of-this-world bicycle kick he scored, proving he's one of the primary players that is here to stay in the Scottish national team. Group D. USA. The last of the 3 host nations However, this national team has the biggest point to prove, with them holding majority of the ownership with the 2026 World Cup. With the home soil advantage, I don't doubt USA will put on a good show. Let's just hope the fans learn something from the games. Paraguay. When it comes to Paraguay, there is one player I have got my keen eye on, and that's Atalanta's United Miguel Almiron, a player best known for his incredible involvement at Newcastle with a wonder goal down the wing. They'll want to make an amazing contribution to this World Cup, which fills me with the feeling that they have a chance. Australia. The land down under has a difficult task on its hands, with teams in the group being familiar with the World Cup layout tournament. I feel as though this group is a mixed bag and could see the likes of Iracunda score a screamer from 30 yards out or more, but we'll have to wait and see. Turkey. A team that is also known to be a page-turner when it comes to the squad list that they are presenting, with masterminds like Arda Güler and Çalhanoğlu, I think will make a wonderful watch at this year's World Cup tournament. A sentiment of beautiful yet passionate football that lets us see how far they can go. Group E. Germany, a household name when it comes to being the masthead of spectacular football, with iconic moments such as the often mentioned 7-2 game against Brazil, in which Germany won by in the 2014 World Cup. Although that aside, Germany hasn't been the big bad wolf we know them to be, losing to Japan and England with recent history. Could Germany win this year's World Cup? Curaçao. With a debut ahead, this gives off the feeling that they'll like to make a good impression as to who they are, what choices they'll make to win the games. Former United midfielder Tahiti Chong is a big part of this squad and will look to control, or even shall I say, drive the force to new limits. However, this will be an eye-opener to see how teams who are committed to winning will play against them. Ivory Coast. Always known for their individual brilliance when it comes to playing football, with icons such as Didier Drogba and Yaya Toure, it wouldn't be hard to believe that this team has something special and maybe go further beyond the expectations of people altogether. Sadly, I'm not a fortune teller, so who really knows? Ecuador. Another team leaking with passion and presence, they carry some of the most intriguing talents out of all the teams, with stars such as Moises Caicedo and Pierre Hincapié. However, with a lackluster front line, with frontman Enner Valencia is creeping to the age of 37 and hasn't proved to be the sharpshooter he used to be. Could they do it? Group F. Netherlands, a team best known for sensational talent when it comes to football players and their ability. It wouldn't surprise me if the Netherlands could pass expectations and reach the final of this World Cup. Although Van Dijk didn't have the season he was intended to at Liverpool, I feel as though the players will carry momentum into every game they play. Japan. After the absolute crazy tournament from the last World Cup, Japan will be looking to still take on the Titans they did last time. However, maestros like Karu Mitoma and Kubo may not start for the first few games due to injury. Nonetheless, they'll definitely come back with flair and style, so you don't give up on Japan just yet. Sweden, a team known for its prolific attack force with players such as Alexander Isak, Anthony Elanga, not to mention Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Will Sweden have what it takes to come face to face with the Netherlands and Japan, or they suffer trying? Just please don't score an overhead kick against our nation again. Tunisia, a national team that I feel has a strong footballing culture ahead of them, with players like Hannibal Mabry bringing a tenacious creativity that not many other teams have to offer. However, they will struggle to put a solid performance in this group and will really need to dig in and put the hammer down. Group G. Belgium. Ah yes, a team filled with quality, so much so you wouldn't be able to fit the list of names on a piece of paper if you tried. With a boatload of talent ranging around the pitch, they have a strong chance to come further than ever before. Could we even see them in the final? Egypt. This Egypt team will have the time to relish their World Cup status and look to make a name for themselves with the former Liverpool legend Mohamed Salah holding the wings at the great age of 34. I could see this side taking a second place spot in this group and qualifying to the knockout stages. Although is that me just being naive? Iran. Despite the political atmosphere around Iran, being in the World Cup, the team looked to make a huge impression on the nation with the culture and style that Iran bring to their game. Famously, with Mohammadi Taremi being the striker role, filling in that striker role. New Zealand. A very interesting national team. Here, as over the last few days, they have been ranked the official worst team of the tournament. However, a quick side note to talk about the hero himself, Tim Payne. Round of applause to this absolute unit. Well, clap. Jeez, tough crowd. Group H. Spain. After their incredible win in the Euro 2024 competition, with Lamine Yamal showing the world that the future stars are not to be taken the mick out of, with age on his side, being only 18 years of age at this World Cup and making a debut, Spain's campaign this year won't be short of monumental proportions. Cabo Verde. Another nation with its first ever debut campaign in this tournament, they'll look to start off strong and try to make a few headlines along the way. As tough as it may seem, they've shown they can qualify for a World Cup, but can they hold their own? Saudi Arabia. A team that has not stopped striving for the world-class classification, with their competitive football league hitting new heights, and not to mention in prior World Cup tournaments beating World Cup winners Argentina 2-1, with Al Dazari whipping in an absolute curler around Martinez. Could they cause an upset? Uruguay, a team known for controversial moments in the past, especially with their players. Of note, we have Suarez, famous for biting his opposition. However, with their aggression and quality in the past, I have a feeling they'll be a powerhouse in this competition with the quality they possess. Group I. France. What is there to say that hasn't been said already? One of the most complete football nations out there, with a roster of talent expanding further than the moon. With their last World Cup tournament, they reached the final in which Kylian Mbappe scored a hat-trick. Could this be a redemption after the loss of the 2022 World Cup? And to repeat what happened in 2018, it's most certainly a tricky one. Senegal. When it comes to elite levels of speed and dribbling, look no further than Senegal's national team. With the ability to play through the roof and squad worthy of finalists, I wouldn't doubt having this team in your top 10 for the World Cup. Sadio Mane returns to make a deadly impression for the squad at the age of 34. Iraq. A team that hasn't been talked about enough may be Iraq, as their star-studded lineup struggle to have players recognisable. However, don't let this deceive you, as this will allow them to use this secrecy to their advantage and come out with better results. Norway. After not qualifying for the last World Cup, Norway are here to prove the absolutely insane talent that maintain with a juggernaut of Haaland at top, for these guys being not only the poster boy but a goal machine at that. The national team have been unlucky not to qualify for the prior tournaments, but they will more than make up for it this year, I believe. Group J. Argentina, the returning champions of the last World Cup, with what will be the last world tournament to watch the GOAT himself, Lionel Messi. And though I'm more of an enjoyer of Cristiano's attitude to football, there is no denying that Messi is king when it comes to conquering the wonderful game. Algeria. This nation has proved to be one of the stronger national teams, with players such as Riyad Mahrez, a Premier League winner with Leicester City, and Ismail Bennacer, being two names to look out for when watching this nation work its magic on the pitch. Because take it from me, they have some fantastic talent when it comes to composure. Austria. Another team I find doesn't get enough credit for their system, with smart ways of counter-attacking and strong aerial fighters. Not once have I ever looked away from the screen whilst Austria are playing. Jordan. This team also has a debut to look forward to, with a team of players I believe could make a name for themselves with their involvement with the 2026 World Cup. Let's see how they do in the tournament. I'm looking forward to it. Group K, Portugal. Ah yes, Portugal. It wouldn't be controversial to say one of the best football nations in the world right now. With the GOAT himself, Cristiano Ronaldo, still in the lineup at the age of 41 years of age, showing hard work and dedication alongside a deep striving passion for the game, keeping his standards to the very top. I believe Portugal are contenders to win the World Cup and haven't let go of CR7's dream. DR Congo. One of the great African nations competing at this World Cup, they'll want to make a lasting legacy with their football on the pitch, with star players Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Edo Kayembe. Do they have what it takes to make it to the round of 16? I'm not so sure. Uzbekistan. Another debutant in the competition this year, with a squad that has yet to set out its blueprint plan of the worldwide stage. I do feel they'll have a hard time playing a style of football that is comfortable and suits them against titans such as Portugal, but we'll have to wait and see. Colombia. This team has a ferocious sense towards football, with Rodriguez' famous Puskas goal he scored in the 2014 World Cup against Uruguay, who is still in the squad to this very day. I believe this is a team with very high potential and goals that surpass the moon when it comes to wanting to achieve. Let's see what they have to offer. Last but not least, we have Group L. England. Ah yes, my home nation. I'm really hoping this squad is the one. I do have my concerns with Thomas Tuchel, with his recent form being more than shaky with a loss to Japan, which is the first in our history against an Asian side. On top of that, excluding the players such as Harry Maguire, Morgan Gibbs-White, Cole Palmer, Phil Foden and Luke Shaw, among many other names, it's going to be difficult for us this year. I believe seeing an exit in the quarterfinals could be on the cards. I bloody hope not. Croatia, a team that has always played its finest football, however never being paid off. Could this be the one, with Modric returning to it for his last World Cup run? More than ever will his team want to prove they have what it takes to get to the extra mile. They may just do it. Ghana, a team full of colour and a keen eye for playmakers and pass masters of the ball. It wouldn't be unbelievable to say that they definitely have difficult tasks ahead of them, with oppositions such as England and Croatia in the group. However, all can easily see a highlight from one of many ballers in this team. Panama. This nation is packed with passion and fans willing their team to go to the new heights never seen before with the squad that they have, as qualifying for the World Cup seems almost like a dream come true for the underdogs of this group. If we are lucky, we may even see a slight movement of finesse. And then finally on to the conclusion. The purpose of this video was to intend to show my opinion on how the 2026 World Cup is going to go. So if you did enjoy, make sure to smash that like button, to subscribe and comment down below what you agreed on and what you didn't agree on, and what you would do differently. And thank you for watching, and as always, have a lovely day.